It's nice to be able to say that things will start to move ahead for you again now, Scorpio, now that it is September 2016, and looking at your horoscope, peering into the coming events, we see your 11th house, which is the sign of Virgo, jam-packed full of planets, 4 planets in fact, and on the 1st of the month, to kick it off, you've got a very powerful eclipse, a new moon in that area of friendships, social activities, and also to a large extent the sector of the horoscope that rules life desires. So there is definitely right now a breakthrough for you. Now this can be in several areas, or they can coincide into one specific area. Firstly, the opportunity to make new acquaintances, to develop what you would consider to be meaningful relationships take place because of this beautiful, powerful new moon in your 11th house. But apart from that, it has a lot to say about feeling that the frustrations you've felt in the last months or even years can start to relax. And I talked about that last month as well, because one of your ruling planets, Mars, which has been building up to a really annoying and frustrating conjunction of Saturn in your 2nd house of finance, has finally parted ways with Saturn. So most of you will start to feel a diminishing of that energy, the constrictive and devitalizing energy of Mars and Saturn in your 2nd house. That can be a very unhealthy focus on what you lack rather than what you have. And I think that's one of the key issues here. The nice thing is that the 11th house is also the place of financial gains. So where you've had this lingering sort of frustration about how to earn money, the fact that you may have had too much responsibility, that's also shown by the Sun-Saturn square this month, still occurring there, but fortunately the transit of Sun is much quicker. It moves a degree per day. Again, that's happening on the 7th. There's a lot happening around the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of the month. We see the opposition to Neptune. So still some confusing elements there, but at least a showing of some fulfillment and breakthrough in those areas, particularly financial. We see the retrogression of Mercury also taking place in your 11th house, moving into conjunction on the 3rd with Jupiter. Very powerful conjunction, great for communication. Mercury is not your friendliest planet. Having that retrogression up until the 22nd means you've got to be a little bit careful about committing yourself to paths of action that may not have been thought through well enough. That can be problematic for you. So it's a good idea to plan things before you execute them, and to plan them in consultation with others. But generally after the 22nd, we see that the energies of these 4 planets vitalize you. By the way, there's a full moon that will take place in the 5th house of creativity. So if you've been feeling a little bit dry, a little bit uninspired, if I could use that word, it's nice to be able to say to you that when the full moon takes place on the 17th, that should start to bring back some powerful, intuitive and creative urges. You know, moon for you is the ruler of the 9th house, which is the sign of Cancer. That's also spiritual, and in some systems of Vedic astrology, it's known that the 5th house is also the sector of spiritual initiation. So there's an intimate link there between the 9th house of the guru or the mentor or higher spiritual thought, and that 5th house of initiation into the secret mysteries. And so, yeah, if you're not particularly drawn to that whole philosophical angle, I can still apply this to you on the mundane level in terms of just feeling creatively inspired to, you know, to do your work again. If you've been feeling as if you've been on the treadmill and things just aren't going your way, this is really a great time. It's also excellent for reconnection with your children. The fifth house is your children. Fifth house is speculation. And if you want a tip from me, the moon is ruling the commodities of silver stocks and that type of thing. So you can do quite well right now by investing in silver, particularly before the or around the ingress into Libra, when the sun moves into the sign of Libra around the, let's have a look at that, around the 23rd of the month. So consider that if you're an investing type. Otherwise, it is also the house of love affairs and relationships, which again highlights and is the tail end of that new moon that took place in your 11th house. So apart from this being just pure friendship, this, platonic friendships, this is definitely the time when relationships, amorous relationships, love affairs can take place. And they're usually quite lucky and bring with them a lot of satisfaction and emotional contentment. What more can I say? It's a great month. On the 17th, at the same time as that full moon that I'm talking about, an incredible trine or 120 degree aspect between your ruler Mars and Uranus, which is in your 6th house of work. So you could expect some sudden insights or sudden opportunities to arise there in your workplace. And because Uranus is the planet of technology, it could be related to the internet or computers or technology of any sort. So it's a lovely month for you, one which I'm pleased to say, because of course, as some of you know, I'm a Scorpio. I'm happy to give myself good news too sometimes, that September should indeed be a turning point for a lot of you. Look forward to your company next month, but don't forget to join me there at the site astrology.com.au, where you can get some more information on what's happening in September and for the rest of the year for that matter. And coupled with our daily readings, hopefully that will help point your compass north and in the direction that you wish to be going. See you next month. Take care now. Bye-bye.